Yes sir, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy D Nolly, aka Don Squally, and in today's video we are back playing a little bit of 3D tuning. Now I have had quite a bit of luck playing this game on the channel. The videos seem to get some pretty positive reviews. So what I want to do in today's video is check out some of the vehicles here and pick something that we haven't really done before. Now for those of you guys who have played 3D tuning, you will know that there's not any driving, there's no racing. This is strictly a cosmetic enhancement for vehicles here. Let's take a second. I think we're just going to skip that. I don't really like Mustangs too much. So yeah, this is basically just a cosmetic upgrade app for you know, a certain amount of cars here. So what I want to do is pick one of these cars with the HD resolution. As you can see, a lot of these cars also have some stance upgrades, so I wouldn't mind doing that. Now we got the Mark II here, the GR Supra. Oh, that new Supra. I don't think any games, any Forza games right now have this new Supra. So what I think we're going to do for today's video is jump into our BMW Supra. Oh wait, did I say BMW? I meant Toyota Supra, man. You guys know what the deal is here. So yeah, we're pretty much starting out with a bone stock, brand new Toyota Supra. I believe this is going to be like a 2021. So what we're going to do first and foremost, I don't want to get into the body kit options because that kind of spoils things. I want to go through this thing, pick each part individually, and when we get to the body kits, we might just do a little bit of mixing and matching here and see what works for this car. So as you can see, loving the style of this car. Really, these things don't need very much. In my opinion, you lower them, put a nice set of wheels on them, and you got a pretty legit car here. Now, whether it is actually a Toyota Supra, like a lot of the purists say, you know, this isn't actually a Supra, I totally agree with you guys. This is a rebadged BMW, and they're just basically using the Supra nameplate in order to is just get a couple of sales off the name alone. What I want to do, however, with this one is pick a legit wheel. You can see we went for the BBS. The NK is not really nothing that really you know, really sets this car off. So I'm going to skim through a few options here, let you guys know when I find something that I like. And you know, skimming through a couple of different wheels here, I think the move here is going to be to actually wait until the car is built, and then we'll come back and we'll pick a set of wheels. Because right now, I don't know, none of these really do it for me. I think that's basically just because this is a stock car. So we're going to do a couple of upgrades here. So first and foremost, we are going to throw the Willwoods on both the front and rear brakes here. Really like the way that these things look. As you can see, it says Willwood there on the caliper. Very sick. Obviously, we're not going to be driving this car, so that's not going to make a huge difference as far as the handling goes, but I do like the looks of them. So the tires, we're just going to have to rock with the factory tires here. Really looks like our only option. Now comes the fun part. I'm going to skim through a couple of these spoilers here, and we're going to find something that I think suits this car yet upgrades the look of it ever so slightly. Now, the Artisan Spirits, looking pretty dope here. The GT4 front bumper, all of these look relatively stock. The Ings actually looks more like a McLaren. That Manhart. Now I think the move here looks like just that front splitter with the red accent. I think I'm either leaning towards the Artisan Spirits or the GT4. And I think out of the two, I like the Artisan Spirits here. I think it really looks, you know, just a little lip here makes it look pretty sick. So next up, now that we got that out of the way, we're going to check out some of these front bumper canards. Now, I'm not going to lie, when I do my ricer builds on this game, canards are definitely the way to go, but I think for a build like this, we really don't need canards on here, so I'm going to go ahead and not install those. Now, the front bumper splitter, we already have a splitter on here, so I don't think we're going to be able to select from any of the 3D tuning options, but that's okay, because I'm pretty happy with the way that this front bumper looks anyways. And next up, we are going to check out some rear bumper options here. And we got that GT4 rear bumper, Toyota Motorsports brand. The one cool thing about this game is you can get a little bit more information if you hit this info up here. Now, I do like the dual exhaust option here, that where it comes out in the center, and it doesn't look like any of the other bumpers do that. So I think this is probably going to be the one we go with solely for that rear exhaust. Has a nice sick diffuser on the back there too, so that's definitely a bonus. Rear bumper canards, I think we're going to go ahead and just fully pass on those. This car being a Supra, I really don't think that that's going to do this thing any justice. Now, as far as the rear diffusers go, as you can see, we do already have a pretty aggressive rear diffuser on this thing, so we don't actually have the option to utilize any of these ones, but that's okay because I like the rear bumper that we got on there as it sits. Now, we do have a couple of different muffler options here, and I'm interested to see exactly how these are going to work with it coming out of the bumper. That is super hot boy right there. I'm not gonna lie, if we were doing a hot boy build, which I think we might have to do a hot boy build, that would look pretty dope. The Akrapovic exhaust there with the 3 outlets looks pretty sick, but they're a little too small for me. Magnaflow, we got the Remus, that Ultimate Racing. Let's see what that looks like. Just one big old hole there. Now, cosmetically, I'm not gonna lie, we're gonna stick with the factory dual outlets on this thing. I think that actually looks pretty good as a nice touch on this car. Side skirts coming up. Looks like we have some Heritage Edition side skirts. We got the Ings N-Spec. Those are looking pretty sweet, or the Manhart. So there you have it. We're going to check out some side splitters here. Now, the Manharts, that's what we have on here right now. The Ings N-Spec, pretty much the same thing, just minus the red accents, or the Heritage Edition. I like the Ings N-Spec here. I think that's just a nice addition. The side splitter has a little winglet here at the back, so I think that's going to be perfect for what we're looking for here. Now, side splitters, looks like this thing already has some side splitters, so I'm interested to see what our other options are here. Got some 3D tuning options, and it's basically just the little painted section at the bottom. Oh, it looks like we're doubling up. We heard you like some side skirts, so we put some side skirts on your side skirts. But for me, I think we're gonna go with just that side splitter with the factory side skirt there. Side canards, we do already have a little canard sticking up here, so I don't want to get too carried away, so I think we're gonna go ahead and skip that option here. Now, we do have the ability to wide body this thing, so I'm gonna just throw a couple of the flares on here. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to make the wheels work with this thing, because I know that this game, they like to kind of limit you with the wheel specs that you can spec out here. But as far as the wide body kits here, I'm not really too keen on any of them. Let's see what the Euro Look Wide looks like here. And I think that right there is probably the closest that we're going to get to an actual Rocket Bunny fender flare. So actually, I don't mind that. So I think we're going to install those both front and back. And if we can't get the tires to fit properly, then we might have to go ahead and remove those. So as far as the headlights go, I think a factory headlight with a little bit of tint on here is going to be a good look for this car. Now, as far as the taillights go, I do kind of like the way that they look. When you tint them up, it kind of just looks like there's a big open space here. So I think we're going to leave the factory red taillights on this thing just for the time being. Now, with spoilers on any car, this is what can actually make or break your build. Now, with these cars, I have seen a couple of spoilers that don't look too bad, but this thing has such a big aggressive lip on the back that I feel like something like this, that's just an accent on that little duckbill there, I think is probably going to be the way to go here. But I'm going to check out a couple of them That thing is massive. I do like that, I'm not gonna lie. Even though it is a little bit much, I do think that's pretty sick. This one here kind of just V's in a little bit too much. We do have what looks like a carbon fiber style here. And you know what? I don't necessarily mind that. Generally, I'd want to see this paint match, but because we have the carbon fiber rear diffuser here, carbon fiber side skirts, and then that front lip, I think that's going to be actually appropriate for this build here. Now, as far as the hood goes, we do have a couple different options. Kind of leaning towards the stock hood here. But we will check out what a couple of these options look like. The GT4, I don't know if that's supposed to be, just looks like a couple of clips there. We can open the hood. We can have an open hood. Let's see what this engine looks like. Dang, man, that thing is pretty nice. I'm not going to lie, I don't actually mind that look. But for the sake of this video, I think we're going to just stick with the factory hood. All of these a little too ricey for my liking. Let's see what the 3000 GT hood looks like. Yeah, I think factory on this one is probably going to be the way that we go with this vehicle. I like everything else. It looks clean so far. I don't want to get too carried away. Front fenders, I'm going to assume we don't have the options for any of these. Oh, it looks like we do. Maybe just some little vents. Yes, it looks like a couple of vents. We got some Heritage Edition vents here, the EVS. Don't mind those. Those look pretty sweet with the little cuts there. The Artisan Spirits. Or the Factory. I think for this one, we're going to go with the EVS. I like that cutout, and I have a feeling once we take fast mode off here, and I'm able to actually spin the car around, you can see that vent going in behind that fender flare. I think that looks kind of cool myself. As far as the air intakes on the hood, we're not going to get too crazy here. I mean, these are pretty ricey, and I don't think any of these are really going to suit this specific car. You know, case in point right there, and the K and N, I don't know, like, what this is supposed to be for, like a jet car or something like that. We're going to go ahead and pass on the front hood scoops here, and I think the same is going to go for the roof scoops. Now, it does look like we got a couple little indents here on either side, so maybe something could work inside there, but I don't think so. Like I say, this car so far is pretty clean. We just need to upgrade the wheels here, so we're going to go ahead and pass on the roof scoop. Now for the seats, I wouldn't mind adding a Recaro here, but only if the seats are red, and the Recaros actually look more factory than the factory seats do. What about that Sparco here? Sparco's looking sick, still keeping the red accent, so I think we're going to go ahead and throw the Sparcos in here. Now as far as the mirrors go, these mirrors don't look half bad, but we're going to go ahead and test fit a couple. The GR Supra 3000 GT concept wing. Mirrors, I should say, not the wing. So let's go ahead and throw those on here. Looks like it just has the cutout at the top. I don't really care for any of these other mirrors. Maybe the Manharts with that red line. Let's see if it even fits. Not really. I think we're going to go with the A91s. They still look factory, but still have that little blinker in there. And that basically just deletes that chrome cap there. Now for the roll cage, I think I'm going to go ahead and skip that. I just like the clean look without the roll cage. What options do we have for doors? Oh, it looks like we can open and close the doors. I'm going to keep them closed just for the sake of this video. Doesn't look like we have any options for tint on this car. Maybe that's something that just hasn't been added yet, but usually you have the option to tint the windows. As far as the vinyls go, I don't think we're going to be putting any vinyls on here. Maybe on the front window. Let's see what our options are. I wouldn't mind getting like a Toyota logo on here, but we'll see. Doesn't look like we have that option. Only looks like we can put on like some sponsors. Let's see the placement, I guess, of where these stickers end up going on this thing. Oh, at the top, that looks pretty sick. Alright, I can rock out the little Falcon decal there. I think that looks pretty sick. Tire vinyls. I don't think we're going to do any tire vinyls here. Now, one thing we do have to do is throw some wheels on this car, and then we're going to have to lower it. So I'm going to skim through a couple of our wheel options here until I find something that I like. I do like the Rotiform CCVs. Them saw blades on there, very classic, but I think we can do a little better. So I'm going to skim through a couple of my options here. Decided to go with these Advan V10 track function wheels here. Now I just got the front wheel on here. I'm just going to spec it out and see if we can adjust the camber. And of course, in order to upgrade camber and offset, I'm going to have to spend all this money, which I don't think we're going to be doing today. So yeah, it looks like we can't adjust the camber and offset. Can we adjust the wheel diameter? It doesn't look like we can do that either. So what I think we're probably going to have to do if we do want to rock this wheel, I don't know, since I can't stance out that wheel, I'm thinking we might go with the 5 spokes now. Once we get rid of those fender flares, I think once we get rid of the fender flares here, throw on those 5-spoke Advans, I think that's going to look actually halfway decent. And then obviously we're going to also have to lower the car. So we're going to throw on the S5 track functions here. As opposed to the V10s. Since we can't get that wide body look, I think this is just going to look a little bit cleaner. So now we're going to have to go back and take off. See, this is what I mean with this game. This game, you know, they set you up. You get so close to the look that you want, and then they go ahead and screw you on the wheels. So we broke out here, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to have to go ahead and go with the free option on this game at this current point in time. So now I think what we got to do is lower this thing down to the ground. Now let's see what it looks like slammed. A little too much, but I think a nice track setup, a nice healthy track setup is going to be just over half there. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and take care of our paint job. So first what I want to do is paint the car. So let's go ahead and select a color. Now I do like the red, but I wouldn't mind it being a little bit brighter. That's a little bit more orange. Let's test out the burnt orange, yellowish. We got the reds going on here. What about gray? The gray looks pretty sick. I do like the gray on this car. But let's try something custom here. Now I do like purple. The purple kind of stands out a little bit, but let's see if we can get a bit more of an aggressive red on this thing. Pink, not really the color, but I think red over here, that looks sick right there, man. Let's go ahead and throw that on here. That's looking pretty dope, and I think the maneuver here for these wheels is probably going to be to do them black. I mean, a gloss black wheel on a red car just really sets things off nice, and this car is no exception, especially with the carbon fiber splitter, side skirts, as well as that duckbill wing there. I think that's looking pretty sick. So now that we got that out of the way, the only thing left to do, can't do any tint on this. I think the only thing left to do is turn this car on. Now, this is new for me, this engine start-stop button. Not exactly sure what to expect. I actually got my microphone plugged in right now, so I don't even know if any sound's going to come out of these speakers. But let's start it up, see what it sounds like. And as you guys can hear, this thing sounds like an absolute beast. Let's see if we can get the RPMs going here. Sounds mint. Love the way that these new Supras sound, that turbo noise. Thing just sounds like an absolute ripper. So let's get a new background happening on here. take our screenshot for our thumbnail here, and as we often do around this time, put an end to this video. So if you guys did enjoy this one, don't forget to smash that like button. If you guys are not subscribed yet, definitely do so. Got a lot more coming in the future. If you guys want to see some more 3D tuning videos, definitely let me know. You know, like I say, we've been getting some pretty good feedback on these videos in the past, so I think we're gonna make a couple more going forward. But as always, I think we are probably gonna put an end to this one. So with that being said, I'm your boy Denali, aka Don Squally. Loving the way that this thing turned out. You guys let me know what you think down in the comments section. And as always, I just want to say thank you guys for watching, and we are gonna catch y'all mofos at the next one, man. Peace.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh.